the many men before me. A.D. That's the name of a man. I tip my hat to the many men before me. A.D. That's the name of a man. I tip my hat to the many men before me. A.D. I tip my hat to the. We were part of your conception, our first connection. For 9 months after that, we too crave confections. Watching you grow was a real reflection on the love that we would give from our heart's collection. Gonna teach you lessons, give good impressions. We'll always keep you close so you won't have to be down. There you go. Now we got some juice. What's up? And welcome to Dadchop, where we chop, chop, chop it up, dad style. Indeed. So I had to drop a little martial arts. Your styles of kung fu are pretty good on you. Just a moment ago. Sorry. So how's everybody doing today? Yes, indeed. Another day, another Friday. Friday is up on us, and we are here up in it. That's it. I'm liking it. Another day of good releases on Netflix. I know that I think Jamie Foxx is in a new movie where he's a zombie killer or something, or a vampire hunter, something like that. I'm ready to check that out. That looks pretty fun. Yeah, so let's dive right in. First thing I wanted to talk about was being a house spouse. And the fact that, you know, when you're at home, when you're a stay-at-home parent, period, just period, you know the ins and outs of how things work around the house. You know what's up with the washer, you know what's up with the dryer, you know what's up with the freaking vacuum, you know what's up with the carpet cleaner, because these are all the tools you use on a daily basis. So like my washer, for instance, I know that the best setting for it, unfortunately, is quick setting, because the quick wash, because the other washes are good. However, they the water is too abundant for any other cycle, and it's based on the pipes, plumbing, how old the house is, etc. So I understand that's a limitation that I have when it comes to, you know, doing the laundry, but still gets done. Just I do it in smaller loads and the shorter cycle, so not as much water. I know same thing with our old dryer. Now our current dryer is much better, so it doesn't do near as much as the other. When it comes to I guess it was a belt or something like that. There was a belt that was loose in the dryer, and we had it repaired. But the guy repaired. He did the whole ring, and he did everything that needed to be done. And then from there, yeah, it just continued to crap out. And I'm not a dryer maintenance guy. Like, I'll do it. Like, if I could find it on YouTube, right? Just like you can find anything on YouTube. Like, you could find me right here on Dadchop on YouTube. But nonetheless, yeah, you can find it on YouTube. You can probably do it. But that was a bit above my echelon. And then anything else, I would say, like the vacuum, the carpet cleaner. Like when I carpet clean, you know, I try to make sure that I suction slowly, etc., etc. You know, go forward slowly enough to scrub, come back slowly enough to scrub. Sometimes people, you know, will use the carpet cleaner like it's just a straight up vacuum. And I'm like, sometimes with that, the carpet cleaner, the water, suction back, etc., that takes a pace. And I swear, like, there's never a point when you don't leave too much water somewhere in your freaking carpet. But, you know, it's got to be done, so you do it. The reason I brought that up is that, you know, the functionality of things like a stove or, you know, a coffee maker, things like that. Like, I mean, just things that might have little quirks that you know about. That's comes with the reward of being a house spouse. But at the same time, people take for granted that it's just that easy. Like, you're just home, you just deal with this, you just do that. You don't have to figure anything out or regulate anything or create a system for anything. Like, if you got paid by the hour for everything that you do as a stay-at-home parent, believe me, and we all know this because we've all said it, everyone said it for years, even through your childhood, you'd be caked. The government had to pay me for everything I do here, or whatever entity it would be, rather. Then, necessarily had to be governmental, but yeah, if that were the case, oh my God, that's ridiculous. Like, you're the professional carpet cleaner. If you do doo-doo vomit, pee-pee poo-poos from babies and doggies and all that kind of stuff, then, you're taking care of that. But then that also becomes like a certain part of trash, because that's like not your normal trash, right? So if that were a separate charge for a job, you'd have that. The yard cleaner, of course, for the dogs. Any kind of landscaper, because you figure you landscape if you pull weeds and prune your roses and stuff. And I mean, I know like a lot of it just comes with home ownership. It's what it is. But it's just saying that if you had to hire somebody for each one of the jobs that you do, you'd be broke. So when you do them, you don't get paid, but you're not broke either, because you're not having to pay for all those individual things. I.e. plumbing. I mean, I'm not a plumber by any stretch of the word, but do I have some snakes? Yes. Can I snake a drain? Yes. Right? All right. So we got that on lock. Cleaning. You're a cleaning company, kind of, sort of, because I just did the bathrooms today. What else? I don't know. Painter, when you got to paint. Maintenance guy for the swamp cooler. When the swamp cooler's acting up, you got to go pull maintenance on that guy. Car washer, because sometimes I wash my car, and then my wife will ask me to wash hers, and then of course it's your spouse. So what do? You get out there and you wash the car. So I'll do hers. Sometimes my daughter. So yeah, everybody gets a car wash sometimes, and just what it is, right? So you got that. What else? I'm trying to think, right? I'm trash man, but that just comes with the territory. And then laundry facility. I'm like the cleaners. I mean, down to you got to read the special instructions in the laundry, in some of the blouses and in some of the pants my family wears, because you want to make sure that you're not, doing some dry clean only something, or this should be washed in cold only and then not dried, because you should line dry it, things of that nature. And I don't want anybody coming back to me going, hey, you shrank or you ruined my new outfit. I can't have that. So that's not gonna happen, right? So that's been kind of the thing I was just thinking about today. Like, wow, I wonder if I got paid for each one of these hats that I got to put on, what kind of paper would I be looking at, right? And then you've got the cleaning, like I said. I cleaned the bathrooms today, right? And I dusted the walls with, like, I took the sponge for my sink and shower, and I had to wipe the walls and the vents, and those are like those little tedious things that if you just do those, the presence of what you cleaned is so much more incredible. Like, you feel like, wow, check this out, dude. So not only did I clean the toilet and the sink and the bathtub and shower, because that's what's expected. See, the large item things, that's what's expected of you. Do the large item things, and then all the little small things just kind of fade into the whatever, because you got the big stuff. But if you get those little small areas, like the little corner side of the tub, and the floorboards, and the floorboard behind the toilet, and the floor behind the toilet, and get all of that all shored up, then there's like, somebody could come and white glove you, and you'd be like, ha ha ha, look how clean that glove is from just you doing that. That's right, because you thought you were going to find all kinds of pubes and freaking dust back there behind the toilet, didn't you? But you're not. You know why? Because I cleaned it. And that's that little difference. Just like the track and the shower door, right? You know, you could leave that because you got the base of the shower, right? But you got to do the track. You got to do the outside rim, the track itself, sometimes underneath the door where it closes, where the hinge swings, because there'll just be like some soap, scum, and stuff that just builds up in there. So it's like all the little stuff I pay attention to also. Even if it requires getting a Q-tip and running it along the inside track of the shower door, just do it, because that soap scum will come right out of there, and it's a done deal. You know, paper towels, like I said, I use those for a lot of stuff, and they're freaking posable, right? Like, unlike the sponge is, but the sponge, of course, if it snags an edge or what's not, it's gonna rip, and it can tear your sponge. Paper towel could rip also, however, because it's thinner, sometimes it just goes in a little easier right into the space, and you can just kind of wipe right out, and it's done. And it's a wipe out, away from, instead of back toward, and that way you get it out. So, yeah. Cleaning tips 101, right? Like making sure everything's good. But I clean the bathrooms 2 times a week, roughly. And I say roughly because I do a spot clean the first time, just kind of like there's a maintenance clean, spraying down the handles and the top of the toilet with Lysol. Making sure that I spray the seat and such with the Lysol, and then give it a wipe down with a paper towel, to throw away, etc. And just that way I can wipe away from it, get it off, get it clean, and then everybody can still sit down on the toilet in peace and not be worried about urine or little feces particles sitting on the back of the stool. Because I mean, we got butts, sometimes we got big butts, so. On my big butt can leave a mess. My son can destroy a toilet, and he's not handy in any way cleaning that back up. So, great, right? So yeah, that's what that is. Toilet cleaning, wall wiping, toilet cleaning, vent wiping, all those things encompassed just makes the bathroom handle busy. And it's cool because then, like, when people come in, I see the bathroom handle busy, right? Because it's going to just be a busy bathroom. But I guess what I was trying to say is traffic. There's a lot of traffic. There's always somebody at gas. There's always somebody coming in. So I always want the bathroom to have a decent appearance, so that way, for anyone who's coming to visit, they don't go, wow, this is nasty. You know what I'm saying? Because you could leave the kids' bathroom for a couple days and it's blown up. Toothpaste spit all over the sink, and nobody knows how to rinse anything down. Nobody knows how to take a toilet brush and brush their graffiti, as I call it, out of the toilet. I mean, it's just, what are y'all doing, right? So, yeah. Whatever. Just got to handle the business, man, right? Because when I was in the Army, I didn't really have a choice. I had however many dudes lived on my floor, however many of those dudes that lived on my floor utilized the same damn bathroom I use. So guess what? I can either go in here and I can cry about the fact that I got to clean up this bathroom behind this grown-ass man, or I can just get in there, got the gloves on, get the business handled, get the fuck out. Bam. Done deal. Simple, no crying. Do the same thing for my family. Just get in. I could go in there and complain about every aspect of what they do and don't do, or I could just go ahead and clean it. Yeah. I usually elect to do the latter, which is just get in and clean. There's no point in doing anything extra. Dane is laying back there making all kinds of strange noises, or he just made a slight noise. I'm not really quite sure what that was. And kill that fan, just because I don't know how loud that was, but it seemed like it was coming through nice and clear. I watched the Rage Against the Machine concert in New York last night, and Not that I watched it last night. I guess it was taped last night. Nonetheless, that was freaking awesome. Okay, so this is what I'm gonna say about Rage Against the Machine. They're dope. Zach De La Rocha, Tim, Brad, boy, I'm trying to tell you, and then Tom Morello is just a freaking beast. And when he's scratching on the guitar, I just, the whole show was dope. Zach was sitting down, so somebody said that I guess he got carried out and carried back, like, because maybe he's injured or something. I'm not sure. Didn't know that much, but what I did know is that I saw that Rage Against the Machine was back in full force. I mean, in any song that got played, the crowd went bananas. Because I know I did. I felt a certain kind of way every time something came on. The nostalgia, the energy, the wow, this is really Rage, like back in full form, and sounded great. Sounded like you would have never known they took a hiatus. You know what I'm saying? That was incredible. So I enjoyed that. Hadn't seen a concert in a while. I haven't been to one in a minute. The last one I think I went to was with my daughter, and I don't know. It was for that American Teen album. That guy. So went and saw that, and that was it. But man, Rage, wow, incredible show. And even though Zach couldn't move, Tom could, and Tom was freaking spinning and playing and just, he was in it, man. He looked like he hadn't taken a break from music ever, and he probably didn't. I mean, just because Zach went back to his country to try to, fight alongside the people, etc., etc., it was, he didn't seem like he missed a beat either. You know what I mean? Like they came back together and they sounded really good. And I'm pretty sure if Zach had been up jumping around and doing, he would have been. Because they all looked like they were ready. I mean, even Tim was dancing around playing his guitar, doing his thing. So Tim, Brad, all I know is that the band was in full effect, no matter who was what, where, when, why. They just looked pretty awesome. So it was nice. A good bit of musical nostalgia. I'll take that, yes. So I had an audition today, and can't tell you what it was for, but I could say that it was cool to actually have one. I haven't booked anything in a while. I'm super excited to get back into my full physical form. So, like, again, surgery. I'm not going to talk about that every cast, but just pressing issue to, like, get it done, and then I got to do the recoup, and that's going to be crazy, too, because then I'm going to be missing you guys for maybe a week or two. To start, I'm supposed to be 4 to 6, so, I know I tend to do things a little bit more expedient than others, and not by the fact that I'm forcing myself to do those things, but just by the nature of the beast. My body operates a little bit differently, and could be because of the way I think, maybe the way I process my thought, affects my overall union with the rest of me. So we'll see what happens, Smithers. So I'm on that. I know we talked about whack foo last time, man. Let me tell you, I'm already at the end of the first season, and dang, pretty cool. And it's still like really neat the way the art is drawn, like, and maybe it's also the audio, because the audio, like, the characters are excited and they ask a question, but it doesn't just like blow up. Like, if something explodes, it's an explosion and it's recognized, but it's about this excuse me, it's about this subtle. So it just kind of flows like the explosion flowed. And then the characters reacted. And after the characters reacted, they did the thing they do. But it's really like that smooth. The way I was just describing it is like that smooth. Like there's never like this super over the top excited like dummy level. Like they just kind of stay in a groove, you know? And not panic because there's still like, the oohs and the oh and the ah and the getting hit or getting killed or whatever it is that's happening. Those things are still happening, but it's just the level is crazy ill. It's just like very surreal. It's a pretty dope cartoon. You got to check it out if you haven't. Whack Fu, only on Netflix. Well, not only, because if you got Crunchyroll, it's probably over there too. You know what I'm saying? So the crunchiness, the rolliness. Yeah. How in the heck am I supposed to wake this boy up for school? You know what I'm saying? This dude, I tell you, and it's crazy because then I'll get a message that tells me that he wasn't there because that's, welfare check, make sure everything's cool, checking in, make sure. And I'm like, okay, well, I dropped him off, so he's probably late. Now, here's the crazy catch. You tell the kid, hey, you can't be late. Got to be in class, so we work on getting you up. We get you out, we get you to school. Then they tell you it's your responsibility to check with your teacher, make sure your teacher knows you were in attendance, etc., right? Because that's up to you as the student. Me as the parent, I'm going to get the notification. So it's my responsibility, I guess, in the end, to make sure that you're up and in class, right? So I get you to campus, you got to put a little more energy into getting from my car to your classroom. You see, and then when you get there, if you've been counted absent or roll has already been taken, then why don't you go to the desk after class, just before your next one, and spend the 20 seconds that it's going to take to make sure that you get counted as having been there today. And even though I was tardy, could we turn it to a tardy instead of an absence? Because when it gets reported as, hey, your student isn't in school, he's in school, he's going to be in school for next period, right? So how about your student missed first period and we wanted to check and see because he didn't miss the whole first period. He might have been tardy for a roll, if that. I don't even know because after I drop him off and I'm in the line with 20 other freaking parents dropping their kids off all at the same damn time because the line doesn't stop the whole time. So I'm in here, I'm dropping my kid off, and there's 15 other people in front of me. Are they all freaking gonna get marked as absent? It's like, where did you go? Did you go hang out somewhere before class? Did you go see somebody at their class before you went to your class? Because it's just not that kind of party. So I'm really trying to get them to be excited for school because I know I was excited to at least just hang out, if nothing else, right? I mean, I made decent grades, but the whole point was the social interaction I was getting, man. And everybody's hollering about all this social interaction that these kids are missing. They're not missing it because of COVID. Believe me, they were missing it long before COVID. These kids were missing social interaction because they were choosing to sit down in their spaces and be in my spaces and Facebookers and YouTubers and Instagrammers, right? Just what it was already. So COVID added a limitation because now you really can't go out, right? So you got that, and then you got that, and then you add those together, and there's your freaking, social shutdown, So cool thing is I still see a lot of kids out, still see a lot of kids skateboarding, doing activities, and my dude still goes out and does stuff. He still goes out and rides the bike. He still goes out and dribbles the ball. We still go out and throw the football. Like, life is still existent. It's just that the computer and everything that it graces you with is pretty amazing, You're like, wow, it's pretty awesome. So outdoor activities to a minimum, but still there, and it still happens, right? So, just gonna say thanks for joining me today on Dadchop. If you're here, you're here. If you're gonna check it out later, coolness. Don't forget to like and subscribe the video down below. This way I can get some numbers. We can start getting some things kind of popping off, and then we get some more people coming. That'd be really super duper awesome. So let's work on that, right? So with that, I just want to say this is Dadchop, where we chop it up, dad style. And I guess what we're gonna do is say there's some merch down there below as well. You can look at on the site. Just click the link, and again, like, subscribe, and let's hang out. Let's do it again. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 1 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. That's what it is. And again, if anybody is interested in Saturday, I'm definitely down to come link on a Saturday and replace one of these weekdays, like maybe the Friday again today. So we'll see, right? You guys gotta let me know what's up and how I can accommodate you in your participation. And one final note, Dadchop is the name of the show because I am a dad, and I can only speak from the perspective of being who I am, a dad, right? It is for anyone who would like to attend, any parent, mom, dad, siblings, step-parent, soon-to-be parents, contemplating parenthood. Does it matter? Come one, come all. Because as a community is how we stay tight. And being that the community can be as big as we want it to be in this format, let's get it on. Let's do this, right? All right, then. Cool. And again, you're watching Dadchop, where we chop it up, dad style. Next week, I'm going to have some guests in the studio, by the way. All right, then. Peace.
I remember how I felt when each one of my babies was born. The amount of warmth and overwhelming love I felt was bar none. We as dads aren't always seen. So this is a global shout to all dads, dynamic astronomical dudes. Being a parent is a privilege that we sometimes take